Hi, welcome back to C Programming. I'm your Dr. Vasu. We are going to see the functions, some more different functions here. If you want to learn more about C Programming and many other interesting topics, please do subscribe this channel. And now you will see what the functions are and how it works. Write a function returning a value, an integer. Earlier in the previous video, we have seen the returning is nothing or void. Now suppose if it is returning a value, how it should be or what changes it should be made. So here, if you take the program here, I have taken a, B, two variables, integer variables, addition of two numbers using a function, okay? And here in the main program itself, we are taking the data and we are going to display sum, and we are going to display this value, this that is addition from the value we are getting from the function called addition. It is taking these two values AB variables. Now return 0 and it's so. So we are going to write a function here called addition, and let us see how it is. We have written a function with the integer. It is returning a value integer, right? So it is taking two variables called x, y, both are integers, and this is the function called addition. Here we have taken another variable called sum, and enter the first number. It is asking for one number assigned to x, another number assigned to y. Okay, scanf y, and sum is equal to x plus y. The addition is taking place here. So you are getting some value. When you add x plus y, you get some value that is called sum. Return this sum. Now, whatever the value you get here, of course, it is an integer, right? We are taking two integer variables. You get a integer also as a resultant, and this result, which is the called sum, is to be returned to this here. That means in the printf function, we are going to give the value here, right? And that is an integer. That is, returned value is integer. That's why this is the return value of the function. Return type of value which is returned. Now, let's compile this and execute. It's asking addition of two numbers using a function. Now, after coming over here into the printf statement, it is calling the addition function. So once it is called, so enter the function number and 100, and here the sum is 300. The sum, it is printing this value. The sum is 300. So like this, the returning value is there here in this function. Whenever you have a return value, you have to mention that in the declaration of the function here itself, in the definition of the function. Now, a number of times I want to use the same set of variables. I want to use say AB variables, and I want to use it a number of times. Let us see how it is. So here, one time I have written printf addition AB, right? Now I'm using the same function here, addition, and using the same two parameters AB, and I'm calling a function called addition. Here again, it is returning a value sum, right? Same function. Now we are going to call it twice, okay? Using the same variables, same set of variables. AB are used here. Calling a function two times. We are calling it two times here. And the first time it's executing. We have entered some values. The sum first set. Sum of first set is this one, right? Over. Again, it comes to the next statement, and here it is calling the addition, the function again. So enter the first number, and here the values are entered. The sum of second set, the sum second set is displayed here, the addition of these two numbers. So like this, the same set of variables can be used any number of times here, whenever you call the function called addition. Suppose number of times, again you want to call the function number of times with a different set of variables. Same thing here, A, B, C, D. We have written, we have taken two integer variables, four variables here, earlier only two. And to call this function, we are using it twice. This is in the first time when you're calling AB are used. When you are calling the second time, CD are used. The function is same, compile and execute. It works in the same manner. No, absolutely, there is no difference at all. So 100 plus 500, 600, and this one 1000 plus 2000, 3000. So this is when you are returning a value, an integer value, you have to mention that here like this. So this is a functioning of a function, right? Use the data from the main program in the function, right? So here we have seen the function asking the data in the function. Suppose we have taken the main program. In the main program itself, we are using the data here, entering the data. So two variables AB are declared. Enter the first number, second number. We have taken the two numbers here itself, right? Now we are passing on these two numbers, these two values actually, right, which are integers, to this function. Now complete it. Now write the function here, addition, function name is addition, returning an integer value, taking two variables are called integers. Here an integer is taken, that is sum. Sum is equal to x plus y. Here we are not asking, here this xy means two integer variables must be given, and these values are already read by this. A and B are two values. So these two values are being passed into the function. So values are taken directly here and does the operation on these two values. Now returning the sum, whatever the value it is for the sum is returned, and let us compile and execute, and it works in the same manner. Addition of two numbers using a function. So asking here in the main program itself, it is asking for the value. So first number, some value is given, second number, and the sum is this. The sum is this one. This value we have got it from the function here. So like this, whether you are giving the data or the type of variables or the values, it doesn't matter. You can give the values also. So coming to these variables, we have seen AB in the main function, and later XY, we called XY in the function here. And let us see what happens or what is the difference. We have local variables. Local variables in the sense, whatever the variables which are declared in the function are called local variables. Only they are particularly used in that function only. Variables defined inside the function are called local variables. They may also be defined as auto local variable also, right? By default, it is taken as local. You need not mention it as auto or something like that. By default, it is taken as auto local, right? Local variable. Accessed in this function only. That means whatever the variables you are declaring in the function, they are particularly used only in that function, right? Nothing to do with the remaining part of the program. Now, whenever suppose in the earlier program we have seen AB values are assigned, two values. Suppose you are using the function again, thus it won't take those two values. Whatever the new values you are giving, they will be passed on to the function, right? We will see how it is, how it happens. So initial value is reset whenever the function is called. So the earlier values, whenever the first time it is called, it has some values. Whenever you call it again, it takes the values which you are passing. That's all. All right. Now we'll write two functions which uses the same set of variables defined in the main program. Right? We write a program here. So we have taken AB, two variables, integer variables, and using two functions here. We are going to write two functions, not one. So enter the first number, asking A and B values are assigned. A and B values are there. Now we are going to use these two values and do something. addition of these two numbers by calling a function called addition. And we are going to call another function called difference using the same set of values, AB. Let us see how. So the main program is over. Let us write the function here, addition, the first function. It takes two values, okay? Two values, of course, these two are variables, x and y are two variables, but in this function, we are passing on two values, okay? So it takes two values and it does the sum operation, addition operation takes place, and it returns a value, integer value. So integer is returned. Now, another function is written here which is called a difference. The difference here, I have used two values again. Why I am calling values means I am passing on through this function. Whenever you call this function difference, you are passing on the values of A, B. The values of A and B are passed. So by taking these two values, this function called difference works, right? So here we have taken another variable called integer, right? A different diff, an integer. It is x minus y, and it's over, right? It is returning a difference. This diff, this value variable called diff is being returned, which is an integer. So the integer variable is taken here. That's why we have in the printf statement also we have mentioned %i, either %i or %d, integer variable is declared here. So these are the two functions now. If you observe, I have taken x and y as variables here in the addition function and also in the second function, difference. I have taken x and y. That means this x and y and this x and y are entirely different. Why? Because this xy are pertaining only to this function, nothing to do with the remaining part of the program, whatever you have, whether it is here or here, it is nothing to do with this x and y. If you want, you can even use xy here also. But coming to this x and y, these two are entirely different. Even though the name is same, name are x and y only, they act differently because they are taking two different values, right? So this nothing to do, whatever the variables we are declaring, they are pertaining only to this function, nothing to do with the remaining part of the program. So we have declared two variables and two functions we have defined. Let us see how they work. Using two functions, right? Now enter the first number, it is asking for the first number, and we are giving some value, second number given some value, and now this function comes into picture. Addition operation takes place. So the sum is equal to this value. Sum is has come here. Sum is displayed, that is 300. Now when you execute this statement, this printf, this function called difference is called. So in this, the difference of these two numbers, A, B, takes place, right? A, B, the difference is 200 minus 100, that is 100. So the difference is 100. It displays 100 here, like this. So, like this, we have seen the local variable, what is meant by local variables and how they function. Okay, so with this, we have finished the set of programs on functions. Let us see some more different type of use of a function in the next video. Thank you. Hope you had understood this topic very well. And if you have any questions, please do comment. Thank you.